I want somebody who has more power and influence and platform than we do to take a look at this, because I think that, everybody knows these channels exist, right? Like, nobody's completely oblivious to them, I don't think. And everybody knows that toxic fandom online is a thing. But what I feel like happens is people noticed it a while back, like at some point a few years ago. Everybody was like, oh man, these channels are making crazy content. They're misogynist or hateful or whatever. And then they just kind of go, all right, well, whatever. They're over here being toxic fans, and they don't think twice about it. And that works to their benefit, because they're like, yeah, don't think twice about us, because we're having Gavin McGinnis and Alex Jones on our channels. And, we're broadcasting this to all ages, no age restrictions. And we got Alex Jones doing COVID denial and talking about globalists, which, by the way, is just kind of code for the Jews. Yeah, they're getting away with a lot of shit, man. And, somebody's got to do something. People need to start paying attention to this shit. I don't need to be the one to do it. Like, even Shark, not to dunk on him or anything. I know, because like, I've been doing this 3 years now, and it's just now becoming clear how much they are a network that really is doing this intentionally and knowingly, right? As far as the fandom menace broadly, the main ones and whatnot, they know exactly what they're doing. I'm convinced of that. So I understand that if you're just going to cover Eric July here and there, or whoever, you're just going to see this as one shitty YouTuber saying shitty things, which is true. But yeah, you got to take a step back and look at the patterns, and then insert the Charlie Day meme. It's all connected, man. Oh, why do they have that? Because they have no talent or originality, and because it works, apparently. Because it's worked for them, and as long as it gets clicks, they're going to do it. Every single thing, any question you have about why they do what they do, it's answered by, it works for them. And by works, it makes them money.
Yeah, I think sometimes it does come up as that. And that's, I think, because they are perhaps not in the same sort of YouTube circles, if you know what I mean. So they're probably not exposed to the same level of anti-fan content as somebody with like a genuine interest in the subjects that they generate hate for. Because if you're not into comics, you probably wouldn't know who Eric July is, because it doesn't come up on the algorithm. And if you're not into etc., etc., and I think that's I think that's why Xanderhall has covered it quite a lot, because he is interested in things like that.
Yeah, it's you kind of have to know a specific amount of stuff, like I do, I guess, that to really notice certain things. I'm not a very smart individual. I'm not a very learned individual, but I know a lot of things about specific stuff. That includes like comics and general film and sci-fi, and enough to kind of get by. And the main thing is that I really like to hold myself to facts and evidence and stuff like that. So whenever something's interesting to me, like movies or comics or whatever, and then I hear a claim about it, I don't like to just roll with it. Like, oh, that's a true thing because this person said it. And apparently a lot of people just do that. I don't know.
And I think it is about expertise as well. I mean, again, the people you've highlighted in your thumbnail, they are, generally speaking, they talk about politics, and some of them have very little interest in movies or TV or comics or the sort of things that we're interested in. Because I know, like, Vosh has covered, he has covered a video by Mobile Gundam, and basically debunked the whole thing because it was nonsense. But as I didn't know anything about anime, I wouldn't know that. But because he's interested in anime, he does. But
Well,
because
yeah, and then Vosh is too. You know, I hesitated putting him on there because his takes about like Marvel and stuff are always so fucking radioactive bad. But that's fine. His opinions on the stuff I like doesn't matter to me. What I was thinking more is like I don't want him to get distracted by the content of something somebody's talking about if he does look at one of these chuds, and then kind of get into his opinions rather than like, no man, look at the white nationalism of it all. Yeah, Vosh media takes are bad. I did a really simple segment about that one time a couple of years ago, like a stream segment. It was really popular. Like a lot of people. I was honestly expecting a lot of blowback from that, and apparently a lot of Vosh fans were like, "No, yeah, his fucking Marvel takes are terrible." Yeah, so I'm really just not sure how to appeal to them unless just directly. I don't know. Maybe do I need to start shit with them? Is that what it is?
I don't think that's the healthiest or most productive way to reach out to them, to be honest. Although now that the right won't debate any of them, it seems like they're desperate to debate someone over something. So
I'll debate whoever if that's what it takes. By the way, somebody asked earlier, do I know of any other channels that do this kind of content? And you know what? I think I do. I think I know of a couple, and I'm going to direct you to them. In fact, they're usually streaming with me on Wednesdays at the very least, because we have the Fandom Initiative, and that's what we do. This is several channels that have come together. Me, Organized Chaos, and Turf Nation, who are generally almost the only ones that cover this stuff directly all the time. Like that's almost pretty much all we do. If you've been out of the loop since November of last year, then that is a thing that has occurred since then. So here is in the chat link to that channel, and from there you can find lots of channels. Just right here on the front page here, there's several. Not all of them do this stuff to varying degrees. Willis Credia is with us, and DJ Eric's Reloaded. He started a whole second channel to do this stuff specifically. Blurry Films does content pretty regularly, but then if you go to the About page, there's just all these, well, a few more anyway. And I know Jesse Gender has directly talked about the Fandom Menace before. It's been a while from what I remember, but
yeah, and I know Jesse Gender. It's not what she wants to be doing. That's why her content tends not to be that. It tends to be mostly Star Trek and other sci-fi stuff. But she sort of got dragged into it.
I mean, she's having to constantly deal with defending her rights and whatnot. So
there's people who have touched upon it and do touch upon it every now and again, but not regularly. People like Dire Gentleman.
Yeah, I need to reach out to him and see if he can come on or something. I mean, look, TJ Kirk has addressed it a couple of times. Came on my channel 2 years ago, which is awesome. Kind of came on. I think I might have maybe even opened his eyes a little bit to what was going on here. And yeah, that's good because he's a pretty large channel and he's got some degree of influence. I think the issue is that a bunch of lefty YouTubers with people who former Trud.
Yeah, I mean there are a couple who
I don't see that. I mean, the ones that used to be Chuds are like Xander Hall. He has no problems dealing with stuff.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, the ones who used to be more on the right tend to be quite open about it, but there's just not much. There doesn't seem to be much intersection on the left between politics and culture.
It's like it's almost like I'm inverted in how I deal with stuff because they are like generally they're lefties who will talk about basically anything about that when it comes up or whatever, when it interests them about that intersects with the left or leftist issues, whereas like I at some point made a conscious decision to be like, well, I'll just talk about the stuff that I know, but I'm going to filter it through my how my views, my politics, so to speak.
This isn't what you'd expect.
No matter how much hate you expect,
No matter how much hate you know you will get.
You are never prepared for how hard it hits you.
hundreds to thousands of people sent to call you names, to bully you, to intimidate you.
They are sent to hate on you.
And perhaps much worse. This is what happens when you pierce the anti-fandom bubble. It's not fun. Because this soy shit's been so disproven and you love to use it.
It's a nice way of not calling you gay. You know, like in the old way of like people used to say,
let me ask
dude,
you
stop
this,
being
is
so
gay
gay.
an insult?
Yeah.
But it's also not entirely unexpected.
He's a great supporting character and a supporting actor, which is what Diego Luna should be. But of course, Diego Luna has the diversity aspect, and they're pushing identity politics with this. They 100% are.
When you decide to call out these toxic channels for what they are, which is just a cesspool of bigotry,
I got these faggots like responding to Comicsgate elves.
What's more racist, calling somebody a nigger or doing a lynching?
where the worst of the toxic community gather.
A white guy will eat a piece of chicken and be like, that's some good chicken. The watermelon's real good. Black people will eat it and they say, that's some good watermelon.
You'll get pushed back. And even if you think you're ready for it, it'll hit you harder than you expect.